Hello ladies and gentlemen, this video will be for you for year 2025, analysis of your ascendant from sidereal and also from tropical modern astrology perspective. So for example, if you would have ascendant sidereal ascendant Aries, your tropical ascendant will be Taurus. If you don't know at what time you were born, then you apply the moon sign. So it would be moon in Aries. Sidereal astrology would correspond to moon in Taurus, tropical modern astrology. So this will be how I will be looking at the 12 ascendants. Also, why we look at the ascendants? Because this, according to the ancients, very ancient tradition, the Ascendant is the house of life. This is more important even than the lunar sign or than the solar sign. So we derive the horoscope first from your rising sign, from your ascendant. So this is how I will be looking at your ascendant and your future year 2025. And of course, what I will do is I will be looking at the most important transits. They are so very important for year 2025. And of course, we'll be looking at the eclipses. They are also very, very important because in year 2025, the lunar nodes change positions and also with themselves, they take the eclipses. Also, we're looking at a major conjunction of trans-Saturn planets and so on. So this will be a general analysis of your future for 2025. If you want to have very specific, very detailed reading with me, which will include primary directions, which will include the method of Time Lords techniques, which will include progressed horoscopes and solar revolution, then you may like to book a personal reading with me. And for year 2025, you can find a reading with a discount, which is valid for the month of December and also January. So if you want to have discounted reading, detailed analysis of your future and of your natal horoscope, you may book such reading with me. So let's hear now your ascendant, description of your ascendant and the future of 2025 for you. Hello ladies and gentlemen who have sidereal ascendant Scorpio or moon in Scorpio, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this would be Sagittarius. So sidereal Scorpio, tropical modern Sagittarius. In case that you do not remember or you don't know at what time you were born, you can apply your moon sign. So it will be moon in Scorpio or sidereal astrology or moon in Sagittarius tropical astrology. So in this video we'll be looking at the most important planetary transits and influences for you, for your horoscope for the year 2025. This will be general, but I hope still informative. It will give you indication of what the planets are emphasizing on in your horoscope, and if you want to have more specific analysis, then my personal readings will involve additional techniques, and such analysis will be very detailed. So where to start from? Maybe the most important detail is actually the beginning of the year. The actual beginning of the lunar year is taking place on 30th of March. This is the 1st of Nisan, the way the ancients looked at that, and this is happening when the sun is entering the tropical point, the equinox, the vernal equinox for the northern hemisphere, and this is the autumn equinox for the southern hemisphere. So when the sun is entering the equinox point, then the first appearance of the moon is marking the beginning of the new lunar year 2025. So this is 30th of March, 1st Nisan. So now we have interesting phenomenon. It is an omen because classically the sun is entering Pisces, where we have the vernal equinox point, and the moon appears usually also in Pisces. But this and last year too, the moon will appear in Aries. We automatically have emphasis on Mars on your 6th house. So the 6th house in your horoscope becomes very, very important. The 6th house is very important, which is the house of routine, house of everyday routine life, house of health, eventually some disputes and disharmonious, communication with people which share your routine environment, domestic animals. This is the 6th house, and there we have the emphasis. Automatically Mars becomes very important. So what is Mars doing? Mars is ruling your ascendant together with Pluto, of course, but the old ruler of your ascendant, Scorpio, sidereal ascendant Scorpio, is Mars. So automatically you become very important. The year will be very significant for you. What is happening with Mars? Mars in January will be on your 9th house in Cancer, where he is considered detriment. But 9th house is the house of the Guru. 9th house has good energy, and Mars from your 9th house will be creating harmonious aspect to your ascendant, which is good actually. This is really not bad, and in the meantime he will also be trining all these planets, yes, later on too, in your 5th house, which is Venus, which is Mercury, which is Neptune, even Saturn. So there will be this giant trine, which is not bad for you, quite good for your spiritual work, for creative activities, for the muse to create beauty, to create art, for example. So let's start indeed with Mars to follow some timeline. In January, Mars will be in retrograde. Mars will be in Cancer, fallen, so he may be indeed giving you the drive to study, to travel, to communicate, but also in Cancer he's a little bit unpredictable, so you may need to be also very intuitive in order to understand well his energies. From 7th to 16th of January, Mars will be in a phase called acronical rise. This phase is not very harmonious, so if you decide to travel or to choose new study, you may need to be a little bit more intuitive and careful. On 17th of January, the retrograding Mars is entering your 8th house. There he will be until, let's see, 7th of April. So from 17th of January to 7th of April, Mars will be on your 8th house. There he's a little bit more benevolent because he's peregrine, he's not fallen, not detriment. But in the 8th house, you may need to be careful, especially when you make financial decisions, when you will be dealing with money from unexpected sources, from insurances, inheritances, court cases, money of the partner via partnerships. You may need to be a little bit careful. Also, if Mars is influencing your fears, worries, anxieties, sleep, just make sure you do spiritual practices and you will be well. On 24th of February, Mars is becoming direct in the 21st degree of Gemini. So he's becoming direct in Gemini, conjoining the star Sirius. So he may bring something good, new opportunity, new beginning related to solution even, because Sirius is bringing peace. Mars in Sirius is not very peaceful, you will say, but he's becoming direct, and he's the better phase of Mars retrograde, he's more difficult. New direction, new solution, and something new he will bring once he becomes direct, emphasizing on serious. So being direct on 7th of April, he's entering again your 9th house, where he will be until 8th June. So direct he's better, but still detriment in the 9th house would say when you communicate, when you travel, when you negotiate, when you choose study or philosophy, make sure you make all these choices based on your intuition, inner voice, and so. So on 8th of June to 30th July, he will be on your 10th house. He's not so bad there. Even he will bring something new. He will bring the new energy for you, new drive, new maybe ambition, in your career place, but still, because we don't know how your natal Mars is placed in your horoscope, be a little bit diplomatic and careful. On 30th of July to 25th of August, almost month, as you can see, Mars will be on your 11th house in Virgo, and you see this is axis of gains, connections. During this period, be a little bit more attentive with children, diplomatic, careful with friends, connections, and so. And then on 29th October to 9 December, he will be on your ascendant, but already invisible. So he actually can bring you this very delicate, intrinsic energy, delicate. He's invisible. He makes us more strategic, but also a little bit impulsive. Again, remain diplomatic during this time period. He will become visible late in 2026. So very long cycle of invisibility of Mars. But let's follow indeed some timeline. Now as we speak, Jupiter is on your 7th house. Uranus also is there. And Uranus entered your 7th house on 18th of June of 2024. And Uranus will remain there 7 years. This is very long. But Jupiter is leaving on 19th of May. Jupiter is leaving your 7th house, and Uranus will stay alone on your 7th house with small exception, and this is when Venus will enter your 7th house for good, to bless your romantic life, agreements, not connections, but entrepreneurship, business. This will be on 30th of June. So on 30th of June, Venus is entering Taurus, and she will make conjunction with Uranus, and this will be 1 month. This will be until 27th of July. Venus on your 7th house is good. She'll bless your romantic life, connections, agreements, relationships, business, and so. This is very good. But Uranus will be there 7 years. During these 7 years of the stay of Uranus there, keep in mind he may be testing your relationship. Once you know that, be forgiving, be diplomatic, be loving. Uranus on the 7th house of people's horoscopes usually is testing their relationships. This is very important to tell you. So Jupiter is leaving your 7th house, and he's entering Gemini. He can be helpful for some finances via unexpected sources. He can help you to, sleep better with less fears, fight your anxieties, worries, fears. So Jupiter can be blessing. On 6th of June until 14th of July, he is invisible. Then he will be missing him. He will be missing his benevolent, beautiful nature and blessing. But on 14th of July, he is becoming visible on your 8th house. This is good. Blessing on 8th house. Money from unexpected sources, insurances, inheritances, and so. A blessing of money from partnerships and so. But also he can help your well-being, better sleep, fighting worries, anxieties, and so. Another very important situation is, of course, Saturn. I trying to follow the timeline. Saturn is entering Pisces on 6th of April, but invisible. And on 30th April, he becomes visible. And there he will be with Venus, with Neptune, with Mercury. I mentioned this. He will be 3 years in your 5th house. During this time cycle, be attentive with children. Make sure you have good communication with them. Make sure Saturn can suppress a little bit talented work, because Saturn is a little bit dry, in a way. He's not really bringing the muse. He's not Venus. Therefore, better be very connected with nature. Do Venus-like stuff. Connect with, walk in the forest, connect with the trees, in order to really have the muse to do, let's say, artistic work, because Saturn in the 5th house is not so very artistic. He will be transforming also what you like to do, what your talents are, what you choose to do in terms of creative study. Muse for creating beauty. Saturn can be quite transformative, and in a very deep, delicate way, because he's in Pisces. He can work on your emotions too. If you feel a little bit, how to say, I don't have the muse, like I tell you, emphasize on love, work with flowers, gardening, connect with nature, and things will come into places. Another very important situation is Saturn Neptune conjunction on 12th of July. Very important. This is historical. When this happened previously, historically, we always have very radical changes in the social systems of the world, the collective, and even revolutionary changes. And this happens to be your 5th house. These are gains, creative knowledge, creative studies, and also communication with your children. So Saturn also, this is the house of pleasure, sex. Saturn can a little bit limit this area. Like he can make it, he can put this area under control a little bit. This is also important to tell you. He will be there 3 years, 3 years, I'm sorry. So this is another very important thing. And let's not forget, during the same period of time, 6th of April, Saturn is entering Pisces. 7th of April, 7th of April, Mars is entering Cancer, and they form trine, and this is good for you. This is drive. This can give you amazing spiritual experiences and new spiritual, let's say, teaching. You can be interested in another philosophy. This can be very, very benevolent and can certainly have impact on your intuition. Mentioning this, I didn't mention to you about the eclipses. They are 4 this year on the axis of Virgo, Pisces, Leo, Aquarius. On 30th of April, the lunar nodes change positions. Now, as we speak, they are on the axis of Virgo, Pisces. Ketu, the tail of the dragon, is in Virgo. Rahu, the head of the dragon, is in Pisces. This is why for the last four eclipses during the last year took place on your axis of 11th, 5th houses, and this had impact on your work, on your gains, communication with children, and so social circle. Maybe some friendships were gone, new friends came into your life. This is what happened this year. From the 4 eclipses, 2 eclipses will be still on this axis, and another 2 on the axis of Leo, Aquarius, and this is the axis of your career. So because the tail of the dragon will be on your 10th house, your career place, and the head of the dragon, Rahu, will be in Aquarius, which is your home, could be that temporarily for the next 18 months, as of 30th of April, you may not be so very like motivated by your career. Could be that you make plans to do your own career, your own business from home, and so this is because the presence of Rahu will be indicating that for you the home or career from home, or just the home becomes, or even real estate business, property changes, this will become more important temporarily. Also, the eclipses will be taking place in March and in September. So the first we have 2 total solar eclipses and 2 partial lunar eclipses. Like I said, 2 are on the axis of Virgo Pisces, and 2 are on the axis of Leo Aquarius. Both are very important, and automatically this axis of gains and career will be important. Axis of change, there you may experience some changes. So the eclipses will be on 15th of March, the lunar, and 29th of March, the solar. So you see, this is one portal, eclipse portal, one eclipse corridor. And in case that your midheaven and lower meridian pass through your 10th, 4th houses, I would suggest that you, during this eclipse corridor, 15 days before, 15 days after, this would say the whole month of March, don't undertake very important initiatives, especially when they're related to career, when they're related to finances and career. New projects, new plans, wait a little bit. Wait until the eclipse energy is over. Because the eclipses are portals for change, and during the eclipse and before the eclipse, we don't know actually what the universe wants to show us, to propose us. We will know after the eclipse energy is over. Then the second 2 eclipses are in September, 7th September, 21st September. Also, these 2 axes are involved. Therefore, I advise you indeed during the eclipse corridor, and this will be the whole month of September, to wait a little bit and see what the energies will show you once the eclipses are over. You will see, especially when you apply your intuition, how benevolent this will be for you, because you will have the patience to wait, and when the eclipses are over, you will already have the, intuitively you will feel where things are heading, and you will be prepared. So this is another very important situation. So this is actually the most important thing for the year 2025. Of course, we can look at many other different details, we can apply other techniques, but this will be more applicable for your personal horoscope. In case that you want to have consultation with me, my details will be under these videos. In any case, interesting will be the times also for your ascendant Scorpio, descendant Taurus. I wish you all the best. Be very spiritual, be very intuitive as you are. Absolutely don't be afraid from nothing. Be very brave, and you attract the same energies. I wish you great 2025. All the best to you. Bye bye.